Friends, let's start with an easy pose, sitting onto a bolster. Your knees are wide open to the side as your feet are stacked on top of the other. Your hands may rest on top of your knees. Start to lengthen your spine, softening your shoulders, relaxing the neck, the jaw. Now begin to become aware of how you're breathing, noticing your patterns, and noticing how these patterns affect you. Slowly, take a deep inhale through the nose, and then exhale through the nose. Just like that. Softening your shoulders. Slowly open your arms wide, palms press against each other, and lower your palms down all the way to your heart as you bow down to yourself. Exhale. Let's do a cleansing breath, pressing your right thumb into your right nostril. Now inhale on the left and exhale on the left. Just like that, work on softening or slowing down your breath as you go through your cleansing breath. Just like that, covering the right nostril with your right thumb as you inhale and exhale on the left nostril. 3 more times. And when you're ready, you can lower your right hand when you're done. Otherwise, you can continue as much as you want. And just begin when your hands are lowered. Notice the difference between the right and the left nostrils. And start cleansing the cleansing breath on the opposite nostril using your middle finger and your right ring finger. Press that into your left nostrils. And slow down the breath as you breathe in and out of the right nostril. Same process. Slowing down the breath. Noting down that as you're going through your inhale and exhale, you're cleansing your breathing, the passageway of your breath. But you are also using this tool to slow down and be more acquainted with how you're breathing. Three more times, or 3 more cycles. When ready, you can lower your hands onto your left knee and note down the difference. Now inhale to open arms to the side and then up, gazing towards your fingers. Press your palms together and lower thumbs to your heart. Inhale to open arms and low exhale to lower your thumbs to your heart. Lift your arms up again and gaze up. Exhale, bend your elbows, lower maybe to your rib cage, and then bring your palms together. Repeat. Open your arms up. Open and then lower your elbows right next to your rib cage, and then bring your elbows to the back as you lift your chest up, and then bring yourself back into a prayer pose as you exhale. Bring your palms together. Inhale, open up, and start to lower your right fingers onto the floor as you extend your left arm up, lengthening the side of your right side body as you extend your left hand up. You may gaze down as you exhale, and then inhale as you gaze up. Repeat as much as you want. I would suggest maybe 5 or 3. Now as you lift your chest up and inhale, make sure you're lengthening you're lengthening your side body. And again, inhale as you look down, exhale as you look up. Now maybe start to lift your right arm up, and as you lower, bring the back of your palm to the back of your hip, or maybe your low back. And again, you may bring your gaze down as you exhale, and then as you gaze up, inhale, opening your chest as you exhale. Now return to the center, both arms lift up, gaze up, and then bring yourself back into your prayer pose. Lowering the other hand down onto the floor, extending the other hand up. Now lengthening, bring the left side of your body to lengthen. Extending the upper hand as much as you can without straining or causing any tension on the neck and the shoulder. Now gaze down as you exhale, gaze up as you inhale. And see if you can bring your elbows slightly to the back to give a slight opening on the chest as you exhale. It's a gentle twist. Now lift your arm up and down and bring the upper hand back to the, bending your elbow and bringing the back of your palm to the back of your hip or your low back, and start to open your chest again. Inhale, lift both arms up, and then exhale, lower your thumbs to your heart. Let's move. Now extend your leg forward, flex your feet, keeping a slight bend on your knees. So lower our body down to the ground. Start by contracting your pelvis or tilting your pelvis forward. Start to expand the front of your belly to the side as well as you exhale. And start to lower your low back onto the floor, followed by the upper body. And then relax the neck as soon as you reach the floor. Slowing down, and then exhale. Bring your hands to your belly. Just note down how you're breathing and how your breath has affected your body or is affecting your body. Just take a moment to rest here. And then bend your knees. Lift your arms up and we'll move into a belly. Well, we're working on strengthening our abdominals. So bend your knees, palms are down onto the floor. Swaying your knees first from side to side to work on the joints of your joints of your hip. And extending one leg forward as you bring your your other knee to bend, and then the foot maybe like away from the middle. Start to sway in towards your thigh, and then out, just like that. Swaying your knees from side to side, focusing more on the bringing that back into the center than the out, so you can work on more on the internal rotation. This practice is more working on both the external and internal rotation of your hip joint, but you want to focus more on the internal rotation if that is your weak part. But if it's not, then you can work on the external rotation. Now bring that ankle on top of the straight leg, and start to work on the same way, same thing, which is to flap it open and then out. Again, if you're weak on the internal rotation, then bring your awareness to the internal rotation. If not, the external rotation. Now, lower the foot onto the floor and note down the difference. You're going to do the opening, doing the same thing, flapping and then flapping out, flapping in, flapping out, and hug your right knee into your chest. And begin to bring that ankle on top of the other knee by bending the straight knee first, bending that, and placing that knee onto the floor as you hug your knee to your chest, and that's stretching your piriformis. Make sure that your neck and your shoulders are relaxed on the floor, not too much stretching, like you're not using your shoulders to stretch. It's just your piriformis stretching here. Now see if you can press that low back in. Inhale through the nose to relax the belly. And then as you exhale through the nostril, press, tilt the pelvis and expand the front of your belly. First harden, tighten, and then start to expand through the side and then the back. Exhale, and then work on the opposite leg. Expand the other leg as you work on the bent knee to flap open in and out, moving into the center and then out to the opposite side and out to the, and then open out. Open, in through the, bringing the knee into your thigh and then out, flapping it open. As many as you want, or maybe like 10 to 20. And then slowly bring the foot closer to your thigh if you want. We're doing 4 stages of this hip mobility, hip joint mobility. Warm up. And then when you're ready, you can start to bring the right knee on top of the left knee, left thigh, and start to bring the right knee in to the center again, the center of your body, and then out. Exhale. Inhale, bring it to the center, and then out. Then again, and then out. So when you've done maybe 10 or 20, you can start to lower the foot again to the outer side of your other leg, all the way to the floor, and then do the same thing, flapping out and flapping your knee open. So you're working on your piriformis muscle. You're not just the piriformis, but you're also working on relaxing and lubricating the joint of your hip. Hugging that knee into your chest. Remember, you want your shoulders to be relaxed as you bring your knee closer to your chest to stretch your piriformis, but you're relaxing your shoulders and the neck area, keeping your shoulders flat on the ground and your chin to move towards your chest. Now lower the foot and bring both knees in together as you lift the knee up and the heel up. The shins are parallel to the floor, and extend your both hands up. And we'll work on the abdominals. And then exhale. Keep your position this way. Expand. Now tilt the pelvis up slightly forward, but your tailbone is still moving forward. And start to expand the front of your belly. And then up. Now let's work on lying butt. Extend the left hand up as you extend your right leg. And vice versa, or alternately. As you move the left leg down, you're also lifting your right arm up over and above your head. There. Do these maybe like 5 or 10 times. But remember, you're also working on your core muscles here. You're also tilting the pelvis as you expand. As you exhale, you tilt your pelvis. You expand the front of your belly to the side and then all the way to the back. Your low back is pressing onto the floor as you're extending your right leg and extending your left hand to all the way to the back of your head. And likewise, inhale to bring to the center. And then as you exhale, you extend your leg and the other opposite arm. Lower and sway your knees from side to side when you're ready. Like a windshield wiper. Exhale. So this is a bonus practice, this one. And then see if you're actually bringing your right knee in closer to your chest. The other knee is away from you, and you push them away from you. Sway to the front. Bring your, again, move into a Sukhasana, pressing your palms together into your heart. lowering the back of your palms on top of your knees. Just noticing how you're breathing. You're slowing down here, resting. Inhale through the nose, and then exhale out. And again, in through the nose, and then exhale. Note down that as you're inhaling, you're lengthening the spine. Then begin to move into a tabletop. Inhale, extend your chest forward. As you exhale, you round your back. Bring your low abs, your abdominals into your spine. This time, start to shift as you move into your exhale. Move into a semi-child's pose, lowering your hips to your heels. And then all the way to a full child's pose, your hips to your heels. And glide forward, just like we'll do with, glide forward with your palms right next to your rib cage. And then when you're on the floor, bring your hands, rest your forehead onto your arms. And then shift your hips to your heels. Your knees are wide open. This is called the gracious pose. And then pressing your palms down onto the floor, round your back, swaying your hips from side to side. Just to work on the hip joints. And when ready, lift your knees up as you inhale and then exhale, lifting your hips up. And straighten your legs all the way into a down dog. Gaze at your belly. You can start to move your belly towards your thighs. An option is to bend your elbows. So this is called a dolphin pose. This is optional. You can continue to be in your down dog and then start to move your feet closer to your elbows. See how closer you can get it, or you can start to lift your both legs up. So start with one at a time, of course, and then start to lower your knees down onto the floor when you're done and rest. Exhaling. Child's pose. Child's pose is a resting pose. And start to round your back to move back into sitting onto your heels. This is called Vajrasana or tender bolt with shoulder. Rotate your shoulders up and then to the back, as many as you want. And bring your hands back into your heart. Exhale. So rest, and when you're ready, move back into a down dog, bringing the right knee into your chest as you lower the right foot in between your palms. Now extend both hands forward and lift both arms up, lifting the back heel up as the toes are pressed down on the ground for a high lunge. Then open your left hand to the back and your left hip to move into a warrior pose. And let's move to a reverse warrior. Bring your right arm to stretch towards the opposite side of the body so you don't feel the stretch on your right obliques as you bring that right hand all the way to the left side. And then let's move back into our warrior pose as we move into a side angle pose. Lowering the right hand onto your thigh or all the way to the floor as you extend the left hand over to the ceiling. And again, move back into a reverse warrior. And then bring your palms together. Move your feet and your hips to face the center for a goddess pose. Bending the knees so that your hips sinks onto the ground. Going as low as you can or just where it's comfortable. Be the boss of your own practice and decide where you want to go. So stay here. And see if you can relax. Your hip opens as you relax into the pose. So allow your body to just relax. Bring your attention to how you're breathing and how your arms are opening the clavicle area. Palms up. Inhale, straighten your knees and lift your arms up. As you exhale, see how you can work on the opposite side now. Shifting to the opposite side, so the left knee is the one that's bent, the right leg is the one on the back. Lift the back heel up to Move into a high lunge with your chest extending forward, and move into a warrior two. Start to move to a reverse warrior, extending your left hand, but you just make sure you're working on your abdominals as well. Tilt the pelvis in as you move to reverse warrior, extending your left hand towards the right side, noting down the extension on your left side body, and then move into a side angle pose by bending your left elbow, and then lower. You can lower your left palm onto the floor, and then extend the right arm up over, pointing to the ceiling, and then move into a warrior pose two, all the way to reverse warrior, and then step back to standing straddle pose with your feet wide open, maybe 3 feet away from each other. Hips are facing the front, and then maybe start to scoot your buttocks to the back as you lower your chest all the way to the floor, the top of your head, or you can press your palms down in front of your face. And then start to make sure that your spine is like on the tabletop, and then an option is now start to move to Skandasana, where you bend your left leg first and straighten the right leg, and your hips are moving down towards the floor as much as you can, as far as you can go or you feel comfortable doing. And then start to work on your balance by pressing your palms together in front of your heart, and then move into the opposite side, bending the right knee as you straighten the left leg. This is just an option. You can continue on a straddle pose with your hands pressed down on the ground, and your back is flat like on a tabletop. And then when ready, take baby steps to move back to standing forward fold, and start to bend your knees forward as your hips are extended to the back, and move into a squat. Now slowly lift your arms up as you move into standing, and then lift your arms up over and above your head and press your hands together. You can repeat again, going into a chair pose all the way to a squat. Stay there. Lift your arms up. Bring your palms together in prayer. Exhale. Now from standing pose, let's move to a chair pose, which will help strengthen the thigh muscles. Open your arms up. When you're ready to exhale, bend your knees and scoot your buttocks to the back as low as you can. The pelvis tilts. Now start to straighten your legs, and again move back into chair pose. Straighten your legs and then move back into chair pose. Now take a step, lower your hands down on the floor and step back into high lunge. Oh, not high lunge, but high plank. And see if you want to do push-ups or moving into chaturanga, and then all the way down to the floor. Palms pressing next to chest. As you inhale, lift your chest and your chin and your forehead forward. You may lift your arms up also. Palms are facing outward. The feet are flat on the floor. Now bend your knees as you exhale, swaying your knees and your hips from side to side. Note down how it affects your low back. And start to tuck your toes in and your knees straight off the ground, and then move into plank all the way to a down dog. Or you can, an option is moving into a tabletop first and then move into a down dog. So our meeting place is down dog. And lower your knees down on the floor as you sit onto your heels, hips to your heels, and moving into a sitting straddle pose. Open your legs wide. Spine lifts and lengthens. The pelvis extends forward. Now start to shift from side to side. Bending. So another option is for side and forward bend. Make sure that you choose which one works for you. It's either you continue to sit And just lengthen the spine and then do side twists. Or you can work on bending to the side and then the back, or forward fold. Make sure that when you're lengthening, you're breathing in to lengthen the spine, and then as you exhale, you twist to open. Also return to the center, and again we'll work on a different kind of opening. So bending to the side, bringing your left arm onto the front of your left leg or left knee. Now extend your left body to the left, all the way to the left ankle, to the left leg, and then extend the right hand to the left side. Note down the stretch on your right side body, and then moving towards the opposite side now. Now bring both hands to your ankle or your thighs and start to move forward. Start by tilting your pelvis forward. Then lower your chest down to the floor. This is optional, remember, you don't have to do this, or you can bend forward as much as where your body can take you. And when you're ready, let's all meet in Baddha Konasana, where your feet are pressed against each other and your knees are wide open, and you're sitting on the ground or onto a blanket. Now start to bow down to yourself. And we'll slowly start to move for Shavasana, preparing for Shavasana. Extending both hands forward as you continue to lower your back, your body down all to the floor. The spine flattens on the ground. And you may start by swaying your knees from side to side, or start to straighten your legs, or one leg straightens as the other leg is bent, or you can keep both knees bent. Please find a position that works for you, and start to bring your palms on top of your belly and start to slow down your breath, breathing in through the nose and then exhaling through the nose. Stay here to rest. And then when you're comfortable and already settled, move your palms to your chest. And then again, note down how you're breathing through your chest. Note down the body is breathing. When you're ready, you may start to move to Shavasana by extending both legs forward, or you can start to move towards a sitting pose. You can stay there in Shavasana, or let's move into a sitting pose. Press your palms together, open your arms wide, and then up. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Bow down. Namaste.